So today we're gonna talk cans. We're gonna do our first official headphone shootout. Why are we doing this? Because you always need a great pair of headphones, right? Especially when I'm talking to my students, I realize that not everyone has the ideal mixing, listening environment, right? This back here is a luxury. This is a studio I built in my house. Yeah, it's soundproof. Yeah, the room is sound treated. I got NS10s back there. And even besides the ideal mixing environment being a luxury, I understand that we're also musicians. We're also on the go. We're on the move, right? I've recorded, produced, mixed records in Airbnbs and hotel rooms. I've mixed records on the train. So we're always moving, right? So those are all the reasons to keep a great pair of headphones. And we're comparing 3 headphones today, 2 being a studio staple, the 3rd being from our official sponsor today. Big shout out to the team at Talomen Audio. They sent me a pair of their premium headphones and I haven't even opened these yet. So we'll be doing an unboxing together. So this is our first product review unboxing that we're doing here on the channel. Thanks to your support, we can do things like this now. And big shout out to everybody that has been here since day 1, because we just hit over 1,000 subs on the weekend. By the time this video drops, we'll be well over 1,000 subs. So big shout out to you. So we're gonna see what all 3 of these headphones promise. Do they deliver on their promise? Is it worth your money? Do you get the bang for your buck? They're all around a similar price point. So they're all at a great price point. I wanted to make sure I keep it that way to make sure that it's all realistic and affordable for you guys too, no matter what your budget is. But without further ado, let's just get right into this video. So the first pair of headphones we're gonna talk about are these Sennheiser HD280 Pros. I always keep a pair of these things around. They go for about $100, and for that, you can't beat these things, man. They're comfortable, they're affordable, they're foldable, so I just throw them in a book bag. I take them with me everywhere. The parts are replaceable, so if you break these things, you can replace the parts or just replace the whole headphones because it's only $100, right? But besides all of that, you get some great clarity here, and the biggest feature is the isolation. You get up to 32 dBs of noise reduction, which could be great for recording vocals, tracking drums. These are your budget-friendly workhorse headphones that are great for all of that. And I always recommend these to my students, especially if you're first getting started. You don't want to break the bank on a pair of headphones. You won't regret getting these. But again, the ultimate question also is, do they deliver on their promise, right? For $100, are you getting your money's worth? Are you getting the bang for your buck? Yes, these things 100%. I can guarantee that myself. I've used these things for years. I've had a bunch of different pairs. I break them, I lose them, I replace them, but I keep a pair around all the time. So for our second pair of headphones, we jump up around $60, coming in at around $159. We got our Beyerdynamic DT 770 Pros. These are legendary headphones. You can call these studio classics. You get amazing clarity on these. 5 hertz to 35K hertz of clarity. These are the 80 ohms versions, so these work best with some sort of headphone amp or some sort of interface. So besides that, you also get your isolation, of course. You got these velour pads on your ears. These things are replaceable. Parts are replaceable again, so that's another benefit. So you get comfort, you get durability, but most importantly, you get detail, you get clarity. When I think of these headphones, that's what I think about. I think of amazing detail, amazing clarity. And that's why I keep a pair of these in the studio all the time for the recording booth, for me mixing. These are just studio classics, legendary headphones for all of those reasons. But the final question is, do they deliver on their promise? For $160, do you get the bang for your buck? Are these worth it? 100%, these are absolutely worth it. These are legendary classic studio headphones for a reason. But again, I want to highlight the clarity. That's my favorite thing about these. And they're super comfortable with these velour pads, and you can replace these pads. I believe the pads come in different colors and things like that. But you definitely get the bang for your buck for that $160. So if I had to directly compare these Beyerdynamic DT 770 Pros to the Sennheiser HD280 Pros, I would say the main highlight about these are the detail and the clarity. And the main highlight about the Sennheisers is, of course, the price point. But besides that, it's the isolation that you get from them, and they're super comfortable. But the HD280 Pros, I'll probably throw in my book bag and travel around with those and bang them up and break them and replace them and things like that. And these, I really don't take them out of the studio. These are amazing for studio use. I use them for mixing. The artists use them in the vocal booth and things like that. So we're talking clarity, detail, comfort, studio classics, legendary studio headphones. And now we'll move on to our third pair of headphones. And they're a little more pricey than the Beyerdynamics. This brings our price point to about $170. They come in at around $169. But you don't have to worry about that because we got our exclusive promo code. So if you're going to pick up these Talomen TI660x, make sure you use that promo code Costa12. You get your discount, which is around $20 off, which again brings your price point to about $150 or lower. Plus, that contributes to supporting the channel, right? This is our first official sponsor. This is our first official product review. So make sure you go support that. These are premium quality headphones. We're going to try these out together. We're going to unbox them together. So let's do that now. We could open these up. So let's open these up together. First of all, you get this quality carrying case. That's the first thing that I'm seeing, which is super dope. Because again, we're musicians. We're always on the move. These things are going to get thrown around, right? You want to take care of them, especially if you're paying $150 for a pair of headphones. You want to take care of them. So let's open the case up. Let's see what they got in the case. So I already love how they come packaged. I actually love the smell too. The smell of brand new headphones. So I already love the presentation of these. I love this little carrying case. You have this little zipper case here for your wires and your adapters. That all comes in there. I love that. Then you have these velour replaceable ear pads. So that compares to our Beyerdynamics that has the velour pads as well. So you still get that same comfort. This is actually promising 10 hertz to 40K hertz of clarity, which could even get you a little more clarity on the top end than the Beyerdynamics do. These are 32 ohms of impedance. And all that really means is you don't necessarily need like a headphone amp or interface to get the full volume and clarity out of these. That's a way it's a little better. So it's on those two ways, it's actually promising that it's a little better than the Beyerdynamics and not really needing a headphone amp or an interface. And also at 40K hertz, it's also promising a little more top end, a little more clarity than our Beyerdynamics, which is a big claim because again, those Beyerdynamics are legendary classic studio headphones. So we know what they promise. We know how they look. We like the presentation. But the final test, of course, is let's see how these things sound, right? I'm going to put them on. I can tell you right now, they feel very flexible. They're very light. That's another thing they promise, that they're very light. Let's see how comfortable these things are. They're very comfortable. I already love the isolation, but let's plug these things in and see what type of clarity we're getting. Because that's what's really important, right? Oh, so it also looks like you get two cables for these things. You get our coiled cable, and then we get our regular cable. So that's cool too. I'm going to use our coiled cable. So we got our cable hooked up. Let's put these things on and see how they sound. So after comparing these to the Beyerdynamics, they both get you some nice low end, but I do find that these have a little more clarity on the top end. I'm hearing everything on these, and I would love to try out a mix on these. So maybe in a future video, I'll talk about these again, and I'll talk about the mix that I did on these and how they were helpful. But I love how these sound, and I'm making a bold claim here that these might even have a little more clarity and detail than our legendary Beyerdynamic headphones. But of course, the real test is actually working with these, right? I need time with these. I need to do a couple mixes on these for us to really see. So maybe in the future, I'll do an updated version of this video. So again, just to recap, our final verdict here, these are very cool. They look cool. They look very modern. They seem to be great all around headphones. If you just want to listen to music and enjoy music, or if you want to make music, mix music, these are great for all of that. I love the frequency range. You get a lot of detail. You get a lot of low end, but also clarity on the top end. It feels very balanced when you're listening. So it's a great listening experience. And again, with our discount code, Costa12, you get the price point from around $170 to around $150. So you get some savings, you get to support the channel, and make sure you like, subscribe. If this video was helpful, you learned something new, make sure you share. Again, we just hit our first 1,000 subs. So big shout out to everybody that's been supporting the channel for these past 2 years. And if you want to pick up the book, the link is down below, 4 Horsemen of Mixing Music Production. And again, of course, we got our workshops available, our online music production workshops. If you want to sign up for that, if you sign up for Gold Tier, you get detailed, constructive feedback from myself and industry peers on your mixes, on your productions, on your writing, arrangement. All the links are available down below. Once again, big shout out to our sponsor on this video, Talomen Audio, my guy Patrick, and we'll see you guys next time, Costa Sound TV.